Hey, Dr. Mike, we are live at our Tuesday 2:30 StreamYard chat. How are you today?
Good. How about yourself?
Good, 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 good.
Good.
So two people we follow pretty closely both release like Friday summary emails. One, Tim Ferriss has been doing it forever. What is it called? Five Bullet Friday,
Five Bullet Friday. Yep.
and he's been doing that forever. And it's a great recap of all the things he's reading and using and everything, and podcasts he's done. And more recently, Chris Kresser has done something called Chris's Friday Favorites. And last Friday, Chris had a great one, and it was 5 different articles and products he likes. And one really piqued our interest. And the article's title was "Can Cold Water Plunges Really Reduce Anxiety and Depression?"
It was a so there recent study come out on it. Can this be true? And Kresser is one of those guys who will not just look at the headline because there's a lot of time this stuff is clickbait and it's meant to entice you to click on it, but actually get to the research. Ooh, are you still there?
Yep.
Okay. Get to the research, and so he basically puts out this. He reads this article, puts it out to his email list, and the question is, can it help to reduce anxiety and depression? And there's a lot that goes into that. And Noah, tell him what Chris's take was.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Couple things. One, people have been using cold water for centuries, right? People like Hippocrates has talked about it in the past, so it's nothing new at all. There is a lot of research, and they state right in the article that there needs to be more research. But what we do know for sure is that uh, when you when you do a cold plunge, when you put your face in cold water, when you end your shower with a 2-minute cold burst, there are certain hormones that are released. Noradrenaline is released, cortisol is released, which gives you that awake feeling. There's also an increase in dopamine, which is the feel good hormone. So that right there can that help reduce anxiety and depression? Well, yeah, I think likely so if it increases your dopamine. So that's what they're really getting at. Uh, they mentioned cold face, putting your cold, putting your face in cold water also activates the parasympathetic system, Mike, and we know that activating the parasympathetic system is very, very important because all of us are always living in that sympathetic flight or flight, and anything we can do, and this includes chiropractic, acupuncture, exercise, breathing, that can get into that parasympathetic system is beneficial for your health.
Truly. And what we don't know is it's just like with your pH in your body. It has a morning level and it goes up, then it goes back down. And there's research on it that this is part of the reason why we're healthy is that it does fluctuate. Same thing for heart rate variability, it fluctuates. So I don't know if it is because going from a parasympathetic state to a sympathetic state, a flight, a fight flight to a rest and digest state really is what's happening here on a system wide basis. But we know people have been doing it since man was going into the water, coming out of the water, going into the water. But it is a practice that I think is pretty easy to incorporate, at the very least, with the face, a cold water facial plunge. You basically fill up your sink with some ice cubes and cold water, and what's the timing on that? Is it like 20 seconds or so, 30 seconds?
I think for the face it's like 20, 30 seconds. For full
Yeah.
body in the shower, it's closer to like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and it really, I can tell you, as Noah and I have practiced this for years, that really it It's like a punch in the face. But it's in a good way. But it really takes getting used to. And it is really easy to do it during the summer. When I end my shower with cold water, so just cold. Um, but I'm up to about a minute. And it really, it does, it I got to tell you, it definitely has an impact on how my morning goes, for sure.
There's no doubt that it's easy in the summer, really difficult in the in the
Yeah.
winter,
Yeah.
for sure. And what else what we know, Mike, for sure is that it may be difficult to find a cold water lake plunge group in your area, or
Yes.
you may not be able to get one of those immersion tanks that people have now.
Right.
Uh, but what we do know is you could do a face plunge. You could
Yep.
do a cold shower. You can go to a place like uh, Arctic. What is that place called in Bayonne?
Cryotherapy,
Arctic
Arctic
cryotherapy in Bayonne.
fail.
There's a lot of options, and some of these other ones like a cold shower, face in cold water is a little safer. A full immersion, you have to be a little bit careful because it is extremely shocking. But I think we could both safely recommend a cold shower or face plunge any day, and to start a practice uh, daily. I know the Healthy Rebellion that you're a part of, they do at least a 30-day challenge on that every year, right?
It's a 7 day cold water challenge. So
Oh, it's only 7.
um,
Okay.
yeah, they do it for 7 days. But I like it so much that I just incorporated it from last year and just continued doing it. Um, One of the other things, if you want to hit on performance, Andrew Huberman had on,
Mm.
I forget the doctor's name. They're usually related to Stanford, where he's an instructor in their medical school. But the cold mitt. So this cold mitt that they're developing, you have to get on a waiting list. It is used in for Navy SEALs. It's used for professional and Division 1 teams. And I've had my daughter do it, and no, I think you might have had your son do it, but you freeze a bottle of water and then you hold on to this bottle of water for a good 2 minutes before your event, and then you just get rid of it. And the results are pretty startling. You can look up Andrew Huberman podcast and cold mitt in the notes, and you'll find the podcast is really informative.
Yeah, yeah. We have both of us have used this with our children for sure. And then the new book Win that I've been talking about frequently, they talk about pre-competition cooling or cooling the entire body, and then post post exercise using some sort of heat therapy. So I think that probably goes along the same lines. And I know in the last state sectional, I had Hayden go out in the freezing cold weather and really cool his body down before his race. So there is a lot of benefits from cold. There's a lot of
Yep.
avenues you can go, but like everything that we talk about, Mike, and I know you'll agree, we suggest trying it for 30 days and see how you
Yep.
feel and function, right?
Yep. See how you look, feel, and function, and at the very least, you'll notice you'll feel dramatically better just by some cold therapy. So worth a
Well,
shot.
as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or ideas, let us know. We are open today, uh, this afternoon from 3 to 6, and we hope to see you all in the office.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
Bye bye.
There you are. Yep.